games. But the question now coming up rapidly is, what will the WNBA do? Alexa Philippou tweeted out yesterday. The WNBA told the WNBPA and its teams today that a term sheet for a new CBA ought to be completed by March 10th for the 2026 schedule to not be impacted. That's 2 weeks from basically 2 days ago, Joe. The time is ticking. So my question to you is, will there be a CBA intact where we don't miss any games in the WNBA?
Nope. I can't see it happening, Donnie. I really can't. And again, we're getting to the point of leverage, right? So
yes,
the players, that union, they're all going to have to figure out, so what means more? You going to hold the line? Is that what you're going to do? And they already gave you the ultimatum, right? Either we get something done by this date or the season ain't starting and then we're losing games. So I think this is far from over yet at this point.
Yeah, we're going to be missing games, but how about this? You flip it over to the predictive markets that you know we love. And by the way, PME is a show. Catch us this weekend once again, providing you all those hot topics that you need, myself and Joe Ranieri. But also, will at least one game, we're not even asking for a full season, Joe, will one game be played in the pro women's basketball season, which is the WNBA? Trading at a 78% chance. Yes is actually 82 cents. No is 24 cents. Now, for me, we are going to have games missed and impacted here because both sides are going to dig in. But no league ever, Joe, wants to miss an entire season because then you miss the season. They don't even start negotiation till the next season begins again because there's no pressure at that point. I actually do think we'll have at least one WNBA game played this season. Now, granted, one is funny. Can you imagine, Joe? We're going to have one game and then hit the playoffs here, but there will be one game played. I do believe that. How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking not.
Wow.
I'm thinking it's, I don't think this is going to be a negotiation that's going to go well at all. I think that we are very much in the possibility in the realm of there not being a season at all. And that would probably be best for the owners, since that's probably the only way that they'll make any money, is having an opportunity to be able to be like, all right, so we don't have to write these checks. We're good to go. I'm sick of losing money. It's very hard to bank on the fact of a losing business, Donnie, that has been losing forever, somehow is going to cave in just to have games that don't make them any money. I don't get it. The whole thing is head scratching.
By the way, here's an interesting tweet from Yahoo Sports. The WNBA generated enough revenue in 2025 to prompt revenue sharing with its players for the first time in history. All 13 WNBA teams will receive a total of $8 million to disperse amongst its players there. So let's just say, what do you have, Joe? I don't know, 12. Let's go $8 million, and we will divide that by 12. So an average of around $666,000 per player. But they want more than that, which means if they got paid more than that, then the teams would be unprofitable once again. That's what they're trying to figure out right now. Where's that profitability and sustainability? And also, oh, yeah, we finally made money this year after what, 35 years of getting beat over the head and bleeding cash?
Exactly it. And at the minute they have any success, thanks to two guys, two people, Donnie, two players, maybe three at tops, is the reason why you made that kind of money and you were that profitable here. So the sustainability, I'm sorry, the owners know it, likely not there, at least not as far as I can see. So them giving more or, giving them what they want at this point, I just don't see it happening.
It's an interesting thing because, the way to profitability, which, again, they're not owners just selling out and going bankrupt for their teams, right? So there is a chance where they now say, like, finally, we're here. But the question is, how much can we give these players before we actually go bankrupt, and how can we grow this thing? And understand that Joe and I have talked about this ad nauseum over the past year. Oh, WNBA ratings, everybody's ratings were up. Let's just see this next year, how they settle in. And also, this league is built on one player and one player alone. It's Caitlin Clark. If she's healthy and in prime time, you are going to get ratings. And ratings, Joe, are how you make money.
That's correct. But again, sustainability is the big question, right? Congratulations. You got an $8 million windfall thanks to one player. But she missed a lot of games, though, eventually, though, Donnie, ended up getting hurt and injuries are a part. So how do you sustain it moving forward if she's not available like she wasn't last year? Because we saw what ticket prices did when she wasn't available.
Let's bring in the coach and talk a little WNBA action. It might not be on the court. We just talked about the Kalshi marketplace, coach. The predictive markets here, they have a question. Will at least one game be played in the WNBA this year? A $100 investment pays back $122. What are we thinking, coach, about the WNBA and the chances of them starting on time or even playing this year?
Guys, I don't know about starting on time. This deadline coming up March the 10th, it seems like the players have kind of galvanized themselves. You've even seen Brianna Stewart, who is, I think, vice president of the Players Association, decide to go play overseas. That told me that there's going to be problems here as some of the star players are already looking elsewhere. Listen, when it comes down to it is this. They need each other. They actually, for the first time in 25 years, they have momentum. They have one of the biggest superstars in the world, like Caitlin Clark. They have Paige Beckers. They have young players coming down the line like Hidalgo, Juju Watkins, AZ Fudd. This is not the time to screw this up. Now, they're going to ask for a bigger percentage. You even see ESPN now switching their coverage to Sunday night, getting off of Sunday Night Baseball to go towards WNBA and the National Women's Soccer League. So there's momentum here. It's funny. I saw Kathy Engelbert at the Villanova game on Saturday. I almost screamed at her, but I didn't want to get thrown out, so I stayed out.
Coach, you bring up such a great point, too, because momentum is always king in these sports. You finally had a season where the ratings are up, and even Caitlin Clark was injured, expected to be healthy, and now ESPN is basically saying, we lost baseball. We'll give it to the WNBA, a chance to actually grow the game. You stunt the growth this year, Coach, at a time where you're starting to gain momentum. You might never get it back with the WNBA.
If you think about the baseball lockout of 1995,
correct.
If it wasn't for that home run chase with McGuire and Sosa, they may have never recovered. WNBA doesn't have that luxury. They got to get a deal done and get it done quick.
I agree, Coach. And again, time is of the essence here. Pressure purse pipes here. They'll probably miss some games, but they can't get wiped out on the season with these opportunities here. Thanks for joining us this morning, Coach. One stipend to go, and we'll close it down in style next.